Okay, thank you all for coming to our 12th CPS PI meeting. First thing I want to do is introduce Gurdip Singh. Dr. Singh is a division director in Computer and Network Systems Division. He's on leave from Syracuse, where he's Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Programs in the College of Engineering. Previously, he was professor and department chair at Kansas State University. And I want to also say that I knew Gurdip from an old DARPA program, probably close to 20 years ago. So he's going to give a few words of welcome, and I will then follow.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of NSF, SAIS, CNS, and CPS, it's a pleasure to welcome you to the PI meeting, CPS PI meeting. It's just great to see everyone again in person after a hiatus of about a couple of years. We've been doing this on Zoom, so it's just great to see everyone back here in person again. So CPS is almost now 15 plus years strong, and one of the very strong programs within NSF. It's multidisciplinary. It spans all divisions within the SAIS directorate, but also several divisions across NSF, and also multiple agencies. So it's one of the very established, recognized program at NSF. So it's come a long way. The PI community, our CPS community, has been growing quite a bit over the years, and it started. If you look back, more than 20 years ago, it started as a track within the CSR program, and from then it emerged, as a full-fledged program about a few years later. So the area itself has come a long way. In the beginning, we looked at, very simple CPS systems, small-scale systems with sensors, actuators put together, medical devices, robotic systems. Those are the kind of things that we looked at, developed foundational theories around those. And then eventually, looking as we branched out into different application domains, we're looking at more large-scale systems, which span at the city scale level, whether it's your transportation system or smart buildings, or and so we started looking at systems at scale and looking at developing theories and foundations for this. So so made tremendous progress in advancing CPS technologies, but as you say, as we keep going into more and more interesting large-scale systems, it keeps requiring more and more innovation. And that's what the community has been doing. The area itself is becoming very rich. The CPS systems are becoming more data-rich. They are becoming more autonomous. There is high degree of autonomy and assurance that's required in there. So, so year after year, our community has been coming together. The CPS community has been coming together to the PI meeting, and trying to address these challenges. And today itself also, over here, we have a very great program that we have developed. It has a number of panels. It has workshops, number of workshops, several keynote speakers, many of our people who were foundational members of this PI CPS community, whether it's Shankar Shastri, Jackson Stakanovic, George Pappas, and others who are giving the keynote speak away. So part of it, want to encourage you to participate in these events, the various sessions over here, identify collaborations, look at new ideas, and more importantly, try to provide feedback to us. With this feedback, that's how we go about incorporating that feedback and developing strengthening our program itself. Also want to mention that there is, a panel on broadening participation, and really would encourage you to participate in that. That's one of the pillars that we have at NSF. We, especially, in computing, we have a long way to go there. So we have started this activity of including BPC plans, broadening participation in computing plans in every proposal. And that's very important to us because, we traditionally have funded separate projects, and we said that, there are projects for those who are very, very enthusiastic about this. But really what we find is that we can move the needle if everybody participates. So again, we are not saying that everybody should spin up their own program, but we want everybody to participate in whatever existing programs that are ongoing there. So would really encourage you to attend the BPC panel and sort of get information from that and try to incorporate broadening participation activities in your proposals. So all of this would not be possible, this PI meeting would not be possible for the great work that our program officers have done. So these are, all my colleagues from the CNS division, but also from our engineering directorate, our people from the EECS, as well as the CMMI division. They are great partners in there. And also the Social Behavior Economic Sciences, SBE, great partnership with them as well. Also want to thank all of our agencies who have been, long-standing partners on that. NIFA has been great partner, as has been NIH, DOT, and DHS. So really want to sort of say thank you to them because they have strongly supported this partnership over the years, provided us with the domains where we can go apply our foundational CPS technology. Finally, I want to say that, CPS, just during the pandemic, we moved into the no deadlines model. And so with the no deadlines, again, I would want to emphasize that all of the time throughout the year is a good time to apply. In particular, I would really encourage you to get your proposals in sooner in the academic year, sooner in the our fiscal year. The sooner you get, the idea there is that we are trying to spend money as soon as possible, as soon as we can. More money we can spend, then it creates a potential for more money to be brought in. So do not delay submitting the proposals later in the year. It's very going to help the program officers if you try to submit earlier in the year. With that, again, thank you all for coming, and I hope that you have a great PI meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Gurdip. I have just a few additional words to say. First of all, one of the things as I looked back when I started at NSF, it turns out this is my 10th CPS PI meeting. I was totally shocked. It's got my hair gray and, but I found that really hard to believe. As Gurdip mentioned, it is really great to be in person. We had a Smart and Connected Community Principal Investigators meeting about 3 weeks ago. That was the first time in 2.5 years that we also met. At this meeting, one of the good things about our agenda is there's time for networking and collaboration. So please take advantage of that opportunity. It's not too often that everyone, or virtually everyone, is going to be in the same place. And you're able to talk face-to-face and strategize new ideas. The agenda we have, as Gurdip mentioned, has some lightning talks, has some panels. I lead one on the frontiers, and I think it's going to be a very interesting panel. I've got some really good questions that I'm going to be late in emailing to the participants but should really get you to start thinking about what is a frontier? Should I apply? What makes a good idea frontier? And there's some keynotes. I think we have 4 keynotes from people that, to a large extent, have helped formulate the CPS program since its inception. We have a set of workshops today. I think there are 4 or 5. Some of those workshops you should really look at as creating seed ideas for the next generation of CPS proposals. Think about it, the program's been going on 13, 15 years. And the only way we keep this program going is to keep bringing in fresh, new ideas. And we rely on you, our researchers, your colleagues who may be back home, other institutions, to come to us with some new and exciting ideas. Other thing about that, though, is when you bring us ideas, remember, we want to hear about foundational research that hits the CPS core set of research areas. One of the things to be aware of is kind of just because you're building a CPS doesn't mean you're doing research on a cyber-physical system. So keep that in mind as you build these ideas. A couple other thoughts. Go through, I was astounded, I think there's something like 160, 170 posters. I'm going, wow, I didn't realize we were such a big program. Go to those posters, talk with the PIs that are going to be at them, and really try to take from those, what's the gist, what's the great foundational contribution that idea is, that poster is bringing out. Also, we've got a set of demonstrations that are going to be part of both combined with a poster session. People that bring demos are really risking their credibility. And I'll tell you why. Live demos are dangerous. And, we're going to see some really good stuff. I recall giving a live demo, to a Navy captain 12 years ago when I was at Boeing. And you know what? He found a certain set of key sequences that crashed the system. It's amazing what you will learn in a demo, but demos are the essence of what we do. They really instantiate the research into the real world. And CPS is about 3 themes: getting real, getting physical, and getting moving, and get moving. The point is CPS has to work in the real world. It has to integrate with the physical world, sense the physical world, and take action based on that. And we want to move ahead. We want to move forward, not just the state of practice today, not just the state of the art. We want our research to be well beyond the state of the art. Other thing that Gurdip mentioned, we're in a no deadline. What that means is we want you to write proposals. We will be having panels periodically throughout the year. We've already had 1 panel this fiscal year. Thing about that is we're going to start funding ideas. And the longer you wait, hey, we may run out of money. We never like to do that. But the other thing, and we're in the 3rd year, I think, of no deadline. First year, proposal numbers were way down. Second year, hey, we're getting back to pretty much equality with what we did when we had a deadline on the solicitation. This year, we're starting to get a lot of proposals. So get yours in. As one of my colleagues used to say, this is Kishan Bahedi. He would say, there is no perfect proposal. Yeah, a panel, people like you will find something, but remember, there is no perfect proposal. And don't wait till you think it's a perfect proposal before you turn it in. Think about, is it a good proposal? Does it have good, clear research ideas, real good systems that it connects with, and submit it. You know, deadlines, I always like deadlines because I like the adrenaline of having a deadline. It makes your writing sharper. But give yourself an artificial deadline and submit your proposals. Other thing I want to do is thank our federal partners who have really made this program, first of all, a multiple agency program, and have really funded a lot of really cool activities that support their missions. So we have federal partners, as Gurdip mentioned, NIFA, Steve Thompson's here, Department of Transportation, Federal Highway. David Kuhn is either here now or is going to be here later in the day. We also have great participation from NIH and Department of Homeland Security. So think about what you are learning from the presentations, the posters that you'll see. Think about the ideas that you can generate and send us great proposals. And there is no time better than the present. So thank you all. I think Linda Bushnell is going to introduce our first keynote, and that promises to be something very interesting, and we'll be back and talk to you later.